I think Call of Duty is going through this weird phase now where they want to make everything be like cohesive. Every game for the past couple of years, you look at them, they all look pretty similar and feel somewhat similar. Whereas back in the day, going into the next year, it is a new game, it has to be different, and that's a risk you take, right? You got to believe in your product and that you built a really good game. And since COD 2019, it just seems like, all right, we have a really good base now. Let's just combine everything and make it all one. Which I see that approach too, because that's what Fortnite did. They just built off of the game that they had. But the difference is Fortnite started off like that. COD did not start like that. It's hard to just change the complete picture of what Call of Duty is. Like everyone that has played COD back in the day knows every year you get something unique and new. And now you're trying to shift the picture of it's not going to be unique and new, but it's going to be like the past couple of CODs. Welcome, everyone, to episode 226 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
Doing great, bro.
Yeah.
I am down to the final week of school here.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
I know, dude. It is, it's gone by really fast, but it's gone by really slow at the same time.
Mhm.
I don't know, like other people that I talk to, they're kind of mixed on it, like the other teachers there. I can't stand the end of the year because
Yeah.
it's so chaotic.
Yeah.
And it's like we're just running around doing random stuff all the time. And I'm like, okay, well, I have to actually teach some classes here, but I'm not actually doing anything,
Mhm.
So the days just drag on, or they're just filled with absolute nonsense,
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to it being done. Like the group that's graduating 8th grade, they're graduate. I think this is so dumb. They graduate on Thursday, then they got
Mhm.
to go back on Friday
Mhm.
because they're having this thing called Fun in the Sun, where it's like,
Mhm.
they're having like a bunch of games and random stuff outside, and then they got to go back on Monday for a half day.
Yeah. Well,
Like, bro,
the Monday
that
stinks.
sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
the
sucks.
Monday's terrible. And no one's gonna be there. Like, I
Yeah.
guarantee most of those kids, they're probably just gonna all be like, "Look, this Friday, this is our last day." Like, we're all gonna say our piece and say goodbye
Yeah.
and call it a day at that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready for summer to be here. I'm ready to just like do nothing
Mhm.
and relax. And well, I say not do nothing. I got other stuff to do, but just not have to be dealing with that every day.
Yeah. All
So
right.
that's where
Well,
I'm at, bro. But how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I hit traffic on the way, so we're recording a little bit later. I was telling you earlier, I never hit traffic, so this was just annoying for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all could have been avoided if people just let other people go and
Right.
merged correctly, but
Right.
did not. So
That's word to the wise. Don't be that person who's trying to cut people off or not let people in when you're trying to, merge and all that stuff. Like, bro, just let them in.
yeah, dude, like it's not that deep. Just
Right.
let the person go.
Yeah.
Just
But
zipper people, zipper,
r- right.
and
Yeah.
they didn't do it.
Yeah, dude. And then they cause a whole freaking crash. I mean, it happens way too often. I feel like that's where a lot of incidents happen is either from people doing that, like just being so I don't know, selfish and not trying to, let other people get the best of them. Like they view
Yeah,
it that way, you know? Or it's a
yeah.
lot of people too just distracted driving.
Oh yeah. Like the only vehicle that you shouldn't like let go, or no, that you should just let them go ahead are like the 18 wheelers.
Yeah.
Just let because you're
Yeah.
not winning that.
Yeah.
And the people that ride bikes too. Let them go because that you
Dude,
don't want to
if
deal with. If you don't let them go and then they hit you, or if you do let them go and you hit them, you're. So it doesn't matter.
when I see people riding motorcycles, I get
Uh
sketched out immediately.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just like when I was leaving work today, I was off in the left lane and I see this guy coming like he's way down the road. I'm just like, nope, let me just get out of the
yeah.
way
Get
here.
out of the
Let
way.
me throw
Yep.
my turn signal.
Yeah.
And he comes ripping
Ripping.
by.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to have been going like 85, 90.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Like those people they're asking like they're asking for a death wish doing
Oh
stuff like
yeah.
that.
I'm like, dude, I'm all for people like riding bikes or whatever, but I mean, man, I don't think you really need to be going like 90 plus on a motorcycle like down the highway when, you know, you're just if you're jumping lanes, you don't need to be doing that, you know?
Right. Right, right,
Like
right.
you're
Would you
you're
get a bike,
asking
bro?
today. Uh I've always wanted one. Would I ride
Same.
it on the highway? Probably not. Well, actually no, probably not. I don't think I would. I don't trust like other like people around me. Like I
Yeah.
Yeah, like people just aren't aware, and I think maybe I would ride from like where my house is back to where we're from, but
Yeah.
that's it. Like I don't think I could do anymore.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I wanna get a bike really bad, um, but I just know that it's really not worth it at the end of the
Yeah,
day, you know?
yeah,
Like, I'll probably my dad always jokes about it. He's like, "When I die, you can go and get one." And
yeah,
I'm like, "That's a fair statement." But even
yeah,
still, when I see a lot of, like, people riding around and just obviously people driving too, it really turns me off. I'm like, "Man, if I'm paying attention and doing what I'm supposed
yeah.
to, it doesn't matter."
Yeah, it does not matter.
You know? And yeah, you can have a car crash and, hopefully it's not that big of a deal. Man, most bike wrecks that you have,
Oh,
they're never good. It's never like
exactly.
you have
Yeah.
a small bike wreck. It's like
Mhm.
usually a complete disaster.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted a bike. I the risk to like fun factor right there is not there. There's
Yeah.
way more risk than that. I mean, literally, I feel like if I did get a bike, I would ride it from here to work. Like that's it, which is perfectly fine with me.
Mhm.
But um, if I wanted to ride just from like here to where we're from, I would have to take the highway for like a couple minutes, but I just don't trust people.
Yeah, that's my problem. I would say the same thing that I wouldn't wanna go on the highway, but inevitably I would.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's where I don't even wanna go down that route,
Yeah.
you know? I know that I would eventually just be like, "Oh, screw it, dude, it's not that big of a deal, like, let me go on here because it's so
Mhm.
much faster," and then, I just get used to it,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
you know?
that's the thing. You definitely can. People do it, and they're just for some reason they're always ripping.
I know.
Ever like why?
Well,
Just go the speed limit.
most the time when I see like, the guy that was ripping by me today, he was on, like, one of, like, the European, like, MotoGP bikes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this guy's got, like, a
It's
Yamaha
always
or a
those.
Suzuki. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I hate that because for me, like, those people I've seen a bunch of them, and they've got them, like, the livery on there
Yeah, yeah.
is, like, from the MotoGP realm. I'm like, "Man, I know you're big into racing, like, because you have this bike that's modeled after it. Bro, why don't you just take it to the track? Like, why are
You're in
you."
a public setting.
Oh, right, right. It's the same thing if you have a really like, if you owned a Ferrari or something like that,
Mhm.
and you're ripping down the highway and everything. To me, it's like, why don't you just take that to the track where you can really push it, and
Mhm.
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
But, and if you fuck up, it's on you,
Mhm.
but if you're on, 495 or, Route 3 and you screw up in those cars, well, it could be your fault, but you're also at the mercy of people who could be, just texting and looking at
Yeah.
Instagram reels while they're driving, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, no, exactly. And people just aren't aware in general. It's hard to trust if you're on a bike. I mean, like even if like if I got a bike, I wouldn't like want one of those. I would want like a cafe racer or like a cruiser or something
Mhm.
to exactly do what they're meant to do. Just go from my house to work and just cruise.
Right,
That's
right.
it. But um yeah, all the ones that like speed past, I mean, it's always those, the MotoGP uh GT bikes.
Yeah.
And
It's
the people at work, like there are a couple people that ride at work.
yeah,
Um and it's always the younger like people too. And like they just rip through them like, dude, you got a
you're asking
life,
for it.
man. You
Yeah,
got
I
a
know,
life,
right?
man. Chill out.
Yeah. It's always the guys who are on the Harleys with they have like a, giant center console and a radio blasting.
Yeah, yeah,
Those are the
yeah,
guys who are
yeah,
going slow, and I'm like,
yeah,
"Yeah, dude." I'm like, "Your
yeah,
bike's ugly, but I
yeah. Your
respect
bike's
what you're
ugly.
doing." Like,
Exactly.
what
Yeah,
you're doing, though.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
"You're going 60 in the right lane, just cruising.
yeah,
Fair
yeah,
play to you." And then the
yeah,
guy ripping by is like, making fun of him. Like, "Yeah, bro, you're probably gonna die, though."
yeah, yeah, yeah. exactly. Hey, if you're going the speed limit and you're in the right lane on a bike, you're cruising. You're
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
And then the guys that are going like 80, 90, 100 in the left lane and they're like bobbing and weaving, that's on you if you hit someone, you
yeah.
know?
No, again, it's the risk, like you said, the risk to fun factor is it's not there for me. It would be a lot of fun, but I would have way more fun taking it to a racetrack and like, actually
Yeah.
being kitted up. So if I
Yeah.
fall, I'm not gonna die. Not these people on those
Exactly.
bikes who have like a sweatshirt on. I'm
Dude,
like,
no. Or
bro.
just like shorts and a
Oh
t-shirt.
my god.
And then they got a helmet. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
at least you got a helmet. But I
Yeah.
mean, if you fall, like you getting bad road rash. Your skin's
Oh,
coming off.
dude, I saw a video on Instagram Reels last night, and it was that some guy lost control of his
Oh,
bike on the highway, and
yeah.
it said, yeah, t-shirt and jeans,
Yeah.
and I couldn't watch it. I had to go in full. I just thought about the pain. It's like,
Mhm.
nope, nope, absolutely not. You
Yeah.
know,
There
just
is last thing, there is, the people that do that, it's usually younger people, I feel like, that uh just wear shorts and well, actually, I shouldn't even say younger people. I see a bunch of old dudes doing that too. Like they just don't care. I get it, it's hot. But then there's this one guy at work just kitted out, like has actual gear, and it doesn't matter how hot or humid it is, he's wearing it. I'm like, you know what? I respect that because God forbid anything does happen and like you slip and you slide, that person's good,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's a pain to put it on and take it off
Yeah.
every day, but it's like, man, is that worth dying?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
like, dude, the 5 minutes it takes you to put it on,
Yeah.
I think it's worth it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I would agree. But yeah, if any of you guys ride motorcycles, let us know. Is
Yeah.
or the ones that cruise and the ones that speed, let us know why. Adrenaline junkies. Dude, when I see people like recording themselves speeding and they're like 100, 120, I'm like, okay, dude, you do that in like over here, you hit one pothole, it's over.
Oh, yeah.
You're toast.
Dude, you can't do that on, like, the streets that are around here.
No.
Ain't no chance.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing that, like, from our hometown on Route 1
Dude.
there, bro?
Yeah, you're
Dude, you
screwed.
you yeah, you wouldn't even be possible.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. It's again, it's cool to see it, but to actually do it, nah, no chance. I'm not
Yeah.
that much of a risk taker. I like taking them from time to time, but doing that, yeah, forget about it, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
So, dude, we gotta
Um,
go talk about the weather, though. We got big no, I'm kidding.
dude, I know. 12 minutes in, dude, the weather's been
Dude, we got
doom and
dude, we have other big
gloom.
news, but we'll get to that, dog. So, anyway.
uh, yeah, the dark gray, doom and gloom. But what's not doom and gloom is we got the official trailer of Black Ops 7,
It is that
and
time of the year,
it
bro.
is definitely that time of the year, and this will be the best Call of Duty of all time.
Saying it, man.
Saying it
I'm saying
right now.
dude, our we have a longtime listener, Mike, shout out to him if he's listening. Bro, he said it and it's so true. It's like every year, we've been doing this, like not just the podcast, we've been doing Call of Duty for over a decade. Man,
Mhm.
our dumbasses, we still every year get hyped.
Yeah, yeah,
I see the Black Ops 7 thing,
yeah,
I'm like, oh, dude, let's go,
yeah.
bro.
Dude,
Like
I
it
mean,
does not matter.
yeah, exactly. No matter what, this time of the year comes and everyone just gets excited.
Yeah.
If you are a COD fan, you get excited. I will say, I mean, it you still get excited, but it varies from like year to year. Like I would say I don't think I was that excited seeing like MW2 to MW3 because it just looked like MW3 is what MW2 should have been from the beginning. But yeah, I mean the trailer just it dropped yesterday and I think you mentioned like a couple episodes ago about the setting of Black Ops 7. It's gonna be more futuristic. It looks like it's taking place in like Japan or something, something like that. It's way more futuristic.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer gave us a little bit
Hmm.
regarding like just some stuff. I think it really brought in like the characters because you
Yeah,
still had
yeah,
that guy Alex Mason who he was the
yeah.
main
Mason.
person, and then the other person that they had was Menendez at the end.
Hmm.
Um which that was obviously just to get everybody hyped up. And it also
Hmm.
confirms too that this really is a sequel. I think it's a sequel, right, to Black Ops 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Um
Supposed to
so
take place. like a couple years after Black Ops 2.
Right. So it obviously confirms that, which again, I don't really think anybody was doubting it.
Mhm,
But it was honestly, it was a very weird trailer for Call of Duty.
mhm,
Um, just in the sense of, I mean, I know we weren't gonna get like tons of gameplay footage. Like, of course, that's not what we were expecting, but
mhm,
I was maybe thinking we'd get a little bit of that or get, a couple of extra teasers as to what we'd expect with the game itself.
mhm,
But it was all just a cinematic story thing, and that was it. And then we got our flash of zombies at the end, which they confirmed pretty much by showing that.
mhm,
Um, and kind of left us, you know, I guess with a lot of questions still as to what we're going to get. There are some that we have answered, which we'll talk about.
mhm.
But yeah, I thought it was a really interesting trailer. I mean, it looks good though from what we're seeing. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, we'll probably. I mean, what we're really interested about, obviously, is a multiplayer trailer because, well, I mean, the past couple of years, the trailer just it shows the setting of the game, a couple things maybe from the campaign, and then that's really it, to be honest. And I feel like this one just hid a lot more stuff because you couldn't really tell, what weapons they're using in the game. It just showed like a cinematic trailer of Mason just, going through the story and they're just piecing things together. But I mean, it still got me excited. So,
I mean, robots are definitely in this,
mhm,
confirmed,
yeah,
right? There was
definitely.
some, like, robot dog that they had at some point there,
Yeah.
which I don't know what that's supposed to be. I mean, it's way more in the future,
Hmm.
um, but, yeah, it still got me excited too just because again, everyone's been looking forward to the next COD to see because Black Ops 6, we'll talk about is just continued to be kind of a letdown at this stage in the game. Um,
Hmm.
and everyone's hoping that they're going to pull through with this game, mainly with the maps.
Hmm.
Which I've seen a lot of the pros talking about this after the launch of the trailer. And I kind of agree with it. I don't care too much about, the other things that are going in there. I mean, I do, but the big thing that's going to be the selling point on this game is the maps. That has
Hmm.
just been the lacking thing in Call of Duty I mean, man, just recent memories, like in the past 5, 6 years, there hasn't been a Call of Duty with stellar maps. So I'm hoping that they do follow through with this Black Ops 2 remaster for Black Ops 7 because if they do that and it's pulled off successfully, I think this COD's immediately going to be able to jump up to probably the top two since FW 2019. Like
Hmm.
it'll be that good.
Yeah. And hopefully more casual players like it because it always seems like casual players don't like the Black Ops series as much compared to like the Infinity Ward / Hammer games because the time to kill is a bit longer. And I mean, I hope they keep it like that. Like I like Treyarch's like time to kill. It seems fair for the most part. I mean, granted, yeah, there are times where like my bullets are doing nothing at all
Mhm.
and the other people are shredding, but um yeah, I think it's really interesting that, we mentioned it before that Treyarch is doing back to back years of their game. And I tweeted it earlier that I think Black Ops 7 could be the game that Treyarch like wanted to launch originally and they weren't able to. And they had to launch Black Ops 6 in a hurry. Even though Black Ops 6 is still like I would say a better game compared to like MW2 and MW3. There are obviously things could be better with it and the support could be better. But I don't know, maybe I'm just delusional, but we'll see more out of the multiplayer trailer. But I think this could be the game that Treyarch was like, we are really trying to put out this game. And then they had to take a step back and pump something out really, really quick for uh last year's COD, technically. 2024
Right.
for Black Ops 6.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying too. And I tend to agree with that. Just because of all the characters that are returning in this,
Mhm,
they did a lot of confirmations. Like most of the main characters that they had in the Black Ops 2 series, I think even prior to that, just in the Black Ops series period, are coming back for this game. which is a sign that they're really putting in, a lot of, resources try to get these people because, man, it's been a long time since that game came out.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it would not surprise me, but with that being said, I have my reservations about it because I really hope that that is true
Hmm.
and this game comes out and everybody's just like, "Yes, like this is what we've been wanting for years," and they finally deliver because the flip side of that is say this game comes out and once again everyone's like, "Man, it's okay." It
Hmm.
doesn't it just like everyone said kind of with Black Ops 6, like it was good plus,
Hmm.
but from what we had before, but what we were expecting from it, did it deliver?
Hmm.
Yeah, no chance. And again, I don't know all the backstage stuff that goes on with Activision and the pressure that they were under. I mean, we knew there was definitely some. Um and yeah, dude, I really do hope that you're right. I hope this is the game they wanted to put out, uh, because then that means that we actually get a $70 COD game that's going to be worth it,
Hmm. Hmm.
and won't be broken.
Yeah. Well, it might be $80. That's might be 80. But again, like I don't know the ins and outs of, Activision or whatever, but again, it's just really interesting that Treyarch has to go back to back years,
Right, it
with a
is.
game. And like we've all known, Treyarch is really good at supporting their games and listening to feedback from their, player base. And I mean, I would say they did like a decent job in the beginning of Black Ops 6. And then, yeah, every year it always tapers off. But I feel like even going back to Cold War, they continue to update the game and like listen to feedback from players. And in Black Ops 6, it just doesn't seem like it. So I wonder if this is like an MW2, MW3 situation, but I hope Black Ops 7 is just like insanely better than Black Ops 6 to where maybe they're working on the game and Activision was like, "Hey, you guys need to like come and save the day again. Put out a game." And they just stripped down Black Ops 7 and turned it into Black Ops 6.
Right.
Cuz
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that, it's rumored that Black Ops 7 has like wall running and stuff, but it's not so futuristic to where they have jetpacks yet and stuff like that. It's that in between like modern future and then like really futuristic. But I think it's funny based on the trailer, it looked way more in the future than uh like the jetpack era, right? Like they got the robotic animals and stuff, and we're going through like probably like robotic warfare.
Yeah, even that first cutscene or like that first scene where you have that robot in there, I
Mhm.
was just like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like it remind me of like advanced warfare, more like infinite
Mhm.
warfare kind of setting. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Which in the
Yeah.
timeline, I actually don't know where it is. I looked it up and they said that this game is supposed to be it's in 2035, which
Mhm.
is 40 years after Black Ops 6. Um, but yeah, it's right after Black Ops 2 or yeah, Black Ops 2. So,
Mhm.
bro,
That's a big jump
2035, that's what it's
from
gonna
the
be like. I don't know.
that's a big jump from like Black Ops 2, like that era, like knowing what that game was and it's futuristic to, to what it is now.
Right.
Um Honestly, what I'm hoping for, slightly futuristic, still like boots on the ground, maybe, or like, you know, Black Ops 4.
Well,
If it's futuristic like that, I'm totally down.
I'm into and what I like about what I'm seeing so far is that there seems to be a real difference just from what we're seeing from Black Ops 6 and comparatively to all the CODs that we've had just in the previous years because again, Cold War was different like from MW 2019, but still like not a ton.
Mhm.
I would say Vanguard probably shook it up the most because like setting wise and weapon wise, but then you go from the MW2 into MW3 and into Black Ops 6. It's like the
It's just
change
modern.
there yeah, the change there really it didn't feel like that drastic of a change. Um, and I remember seeing someone tweet out about it because it was a really good point to what I'm saying, where they showed four screenshots of gameplay from all different CODs in the like most recent era, and their point was like most people, if they don't play COD, they would just assume that this is all the same game.
Yeah.
What you're looking at here because the UI is the exact same, the colors, everything about it looks pretty much the exact same.
Hmm.
Now, if you go and look up Black Ops 6 and you compare that to Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4, those games look way different,
Hmm.
you know? And I'm hoping with this title that just looking at it and what we're seeing, it seems like it's going to be a big difference from what we've had with Black Ops 6. And honestly, just again, everything in the past few years. Um, so I'll be pissed if I load into this and it really doesn't feel that much. It's like, okay, it's slightly futuristic, but it feels the same. Like the UI is the exact same. The colors are kind of the same. I'm like, I need that contrast.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, based on the, again, can't speak on it until we see multiplayer trailer. Uh, but the colors look really good from that trailer. And I hope they implement those colors into the remastering of the maps and like all the new maps that they had. So,
Yeah, totally.
and again, I don't think we'll talk too much on multiplayer because we literally have nothing to talk about on it. But one thing that's really interesting is there's going to be a co-op campaign this year.
I saw this,
That's
bro.
awesome because you and I have been talking about a
Mhm,
co-op campaign for a while. And again, this is why I'm like maybe Treyarch, like this was a game that they wanted to put out, and then they
mhm.
had to say screw it, we got to put something out this year. Um, I guess we'll never know unless someone comes out and says what happened, because it's kind of like the Cold War situation. I remember Cold War; it wasn't supposed to come out, um,
Yeah,
and then they put it out, and that's been one of our favorite CODs in the past couple of years. And then same with Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 came out, and people they decided not to do a campaign. They only wanted to focus on multiplayer. People thought it was a bad idea, but that multiplayer banged, and one of my favorite games ever. And in this, it seems like they're taking care of everything. Seems like they're really taking care of the campaign, multiplayer, hopefully, and then they basically, confirmed that zombies is coming back too, and they'll always do a good job with that. But yeah, the co-op campaign, I'm excited for that because you and I still play campaign. I know other people don't really, but the fact that they're adding co-op campaign it's good because that means they're listening.
yeah, and it just gives more variety and more I don't know, just more options for people, who maybe don't wanna go and play it by themselves, and I wonder too if the story is any different, if they have, like, some extra things that they've added to
Hmm.
go and help, kinda make it seem more realistic. Because there's some of those games I know we play where there's, like, co-op I know they're not, like, full-on co-op games,
Hmm.
but co-op is definitely an afterthought, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I'm hoping with this that maybe there's some extra story elements that they add in with your character, like whoever you end up playing as in it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think it's a great addition. It's one of those things that no one's really going to be complaining about it when it's in there, but when it's not there, it's always something people kind of wish was. You know what
Hmm.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like a I don't think it's that difficult of an option to go and throw into the game.
Hmm.
So I'm glad that it's returning because yeah, for sure we'll be playing it by ourselves and then we'll go load in and do it again
Hmm.
as a co-op. Because I think I can't remember the last COD that had co-op campaign. Like
Dude, I I mean the last co-op campaign I played was World at War.
I was gonna say, dude, like
Like I don't even know if there are other co-op
I that's
campaigns.
what I'm thinking. Last COD with co-op campaign. Like I'm trying to see what it is. It may have been something. Bro, what? Are we bugging? Oh, okay. It says, yeah, Black Ops 6 was the last one, but it says not a co-op campaign.
Yeah.
It allowed for split screen and
Yeah.
co-op gameplay. Okay, bro. That's not what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah, so I actually don't know what I the only one I can think of is World at War, where you could actually
uh,
play online and do that. Maybe Black Ops 3?
I don't think so.
I
I don't
think
think
so,
what
bro.
yeah. I don't know.
Someone listening is
Either
probably tweaking, be like,
totally.
dude, it was this one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
I
don't
don't know.
remember.
Either way, it's been a long time.
Feels like it,
Very
yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's a good addition. I'm glad they're adding it. And then on top of that, they basically confirmed zombies, and zombies again, round based which is good. So I'm sure Treyarch will come up with, their whole storyline off of that, like building off of what they have now.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and then I think like another big topic is the whole Warzone and Blackout 2 uh,
Mhm.
discussion, because I think Warzone is it's not going to be in the past, but it's just going to be there. And Blackout 2 is going to be the main battle royale.
Yeah.
And I think the map is called like Aliation, Alation.
Okay.
Um, so which I don't know. This is interesting. I'm glad that they're doing this, but it seems like they're splitting up the BR like community a little bit.
Right.
I was reading like a tweet from someone that was working on the game, and he basically mentioned that Warzone is going to be more of that like casual BR style, where if you want to, be more serious and I guess be competitive, Blackout 2 is going to be like where you're playing. And Blackout 2 is only going to be on next gen consoles and PC only.
Which is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because another problem, like before we go back to that, that I still don't understand why. I mean, I do understand why, but I hate is that this game is going to come out on last gen console too.
Hmm.
Like, when are we gonna cut that cord, bro? I mean, it's been a minute now. I maybe it's me being insensitive, but I'm like, man, the PlayStation 5 has been out for so long now. If you're that much of a gamer,
Hmm.
you would have saved some cash right now to go be able to buy it. Because I feel like the people who are gonna play on the old consoles, maybe they're totally happy with it, but man, I would be so disappointed every year with these
Hmm.
CODs because you're not getting anywhere near what it actually is. You're getting some watered down like shell version of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be optimized to, what it should be.
Right, right.
And that's just not fun if you're getting like destroyed.
Yeah. So doing something like that where they're going to have it be exclusive to that, I would hope that if there is some community of people who are on the PS4 or Xbox One who want to play that, that'll maybe be the push to go have them buy it,
Hmm.
and get on it. Um, but yeah, I don't know what I think about them dividing it like that. I don't know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, honestly.
I'm like, I don't know if it's good or bad, but I'm all in for it because, Warzone can only be like so much. Like I know it's huge, but Blackout is Treyarch's version of, the BR realm. And people like Blackout when it was in BO4,
Yeah,
BO3. Yeah, I think it was BO4.
BO4.
But yeah, like apparently Blackout isn't going to be coming like right when the game launches, which I do like. Give it some time. Let people play Black Ops 7 first and then release it. So it's supposed to be coming out in season 2. So that means we're
Okay.
we're getting seasons. And yeah, so right now Warzone is for Dansk and Rebirth Island, and it'll still exist, but it's only casual solos and quads. And Warzone is going to be officially sunsetted.
Okay.
So Blackout 2 is going to be, the BR, which kind of makes me happy. Like, does that mean Warzone's just it's gonna go away?
Yeah, like what's it morphing into?
Yeah,
You
like
know?
that's why I like that they're doing this, having two separate things, because now Blackout 2 is starting out fresh. That is Treyarch's BR. They're not introducing like, you know, MW3 weapons, MW2 weapons. This is Treyarch's thing.
Right.
Um,
And
that
I would say
that's good.
too on that note, I would say a lot of people probably feel that Blackout is the best BR that COD came out with.
Hmm.
But it wasn't the biggest, of course. It was before Warzone. Um so yeah, I hope that with the return of it, they do it right and it's not completely littered with cheaters and hackers and obviously the map and everything about it is smooth and works well. But if this is a success, like if it ends up, just going going well. I wonder if they're just going to stick with that, instead of
Mhm.
it being Warzone. It's like, well, it's kind of Warzone, but they call it Blackout.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And I think this will be a good test, right? Like if Warzone is made for casual players, how many people are going to go and play Warzone while Blackout 2 is out? You know,
Right.
I think that'll really show the divide in like the fan base, right? And I mean, if you like COD and you do want to like sweat and try hard, you're going to buy the new COD no matter what. So you're going to be on Blackout 2.
Right.
And this person was saying like Warzone is always going to exist, but for casuals, for the people that just want to hop into solos or, quads with your friends and go and play for Dansk and Rebirth. But Blackout 2 is going to be where, all the real players that want to sweat and try hard, like they're going to be on the current game.
Yeah, and it's a good strategy by them because again, I would imagine at the beginning of it there's going to be a way smaller player base of people
Yeah.
playing Blackout. Um But then the people who are in the casual side are going to go on Twitch and they're going to go see Nate Shot and Scump and all the guys that are, the big streamers who are going to be playing it. And hopefully, if it is a success and it does well and they're enjoying it, then people are going to want to go over and play, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, dude, like look at the state right now, Warzone ranked. Like that, watching people play that, I don't understand how you could get excited to go and play it, you
Mhm.
know? Like when I when I went into work this morning, I go and open up YouTube and I see Teep and he's streaming and it's like, Warzone ranked versus hackers and cheaters. Like that was literally the title,
Yeah.
and he's live. And I'm like, dude, what? Like
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
what are we talking about right now?
Mhm.
And I saw before we started, I saw some clip of Scump. He's in there and he died, and there's all these people that are just around, like all killing each other, just boosting and trolling. And he's like, this is ranked, by the way. This isn't like pubs.
Mhm.
This is supposed to be the competitive version of this right now. And this is what they're doing. Um, so if you're a competitive person, you see that, you ain't gonna want to buy it. But if you see them all running and trying to, you know, rack up wins and it looks like it's really fun, like it did in Blackout One. Um, I think some people will definitely want to go and make the move and be like, you know what, let me go ditch
Mhm.
Warzone. Let's go try this out because it looks like it's actually good.
Yeah, and I think it's a very calculated risk that Treyarch is taking. Like again, I don't know if Treyarch is like, we're making Blackout 2, we're gonna take that risk. And they stuck it to Activision and was like, we want to put this out. Like let us put it out and not have it be integrated with Warzone and built, a good case to pitch to them like, hey, let's try it. Because the state of Warzone right now, it's not that good. So let us try to build something, new and for us and see what happens and release it,
Yeah.
because I feel like Activision, Call of Duty in general, they're not taking, these major risks like that. Having two communities divided. Uh, like remember when they put out what was it? It was COD 4 and what was it?
IW.
IW, yeah. Like yeah, people went back and played COD 4 and didn't play IW, but eventually people ended up just going back to IW because they got bored of COD 4.
Right.
And this is not the same case, but it's kind of like, all right, Warzone's been out for years now. Blackout 2 is going to be brand new. Like you said, it's probably going to be a smaller population on, or a smaller player base on Blackout 2 for a little bit. Or who knows? Maybe it's not. Maybe people get really excited and they buy the game and there's more
Yeah.
people playing that. And then what? By the end of the year, they look at the numbers. Warzone's just slowly dropping, and blackouts just continue to go up. Maybe they just sunset Warzone and you know, RIP to it. It did its job for like a couple of years. Blackout's a new thing now.
Yeah. Do they then eventually turn Warzone into casual blackout? And then they have the
Yeah.
ranked version of it?
Mhm.
Um, it is an interesting take. And to your point about risks, yeah, they haven't taken them in a long time. And I know people say this every year, and I'm one of these people. I say it every year too, but I really do think this is a very important year for Call of Duty to succeed because not just of the current state of the game, which I would say it's in one of the lowest states that it's been in, and overall, like with the just the quality of Black Ops 6. People are getting kind of bored of it. And the gameplay itself, which you can debate, but then the state of Warzone and ranked play across the board. And then also with these other FPSs that are coming in with Splitgate 2 that we'll talk about later on. And I know with Battlefield, that's going to be coming out too. They have competition. It's not like any of these games are going to go and take over COD. Like, that's not what we're saying. But there could be a real divide here where there's these developers and other games that are like, hey, we see the problem with Call of Duty. We're going to try to go make a game that doesn't have those problems. And there will be people that switch over to those and may enjoy it. But that's why Black Ops 7 is so important. They need to go and make this game for, you know, it's fair for the masses, because it's impossible to please everybody, but they need to really make sure that every part of the game, like the zombies, like the campaign, the multiplayer for the casuals, the rank play, and the battle royale, they need to be airtight. Like, they need to
Mhm.
be really, really good to get people hyped about the game again. I think if one of those things, minus like the campaign, if it's okay, but if the multiplayer, like the maps are not good, the map for Blackout's not good, dude, I think it's going to be a really, really tough year again.
Yeah, and I mean, look, at the end of the day, what really matters in COD is like any of the multiplayer features, multiplayer, and then like Blackout 2 in this case, because campaign for the most part for COD is like it's pretty good. I would say it's decent, for the most part. And then, well, I'll say overall, MW3's campaign was, rough, but and then zombies, like Treyarch always takes care of zombies. Like they know what they're doing there. But multiplayer, Blackout 2, really important. When you are able to play with your friends and just other people, you need to like lock that in and
Oh, yeah.
have a really good experience. And yeah, I mean, if Warzone ends up, sunsetting, I think that's a good move because if Blackout 2 like bangs and does really well, maybe like all the developers take a step back and are like, you know what? Maybe we don't try to combine every game. Maybe we did have a thing where every single year, what made COD unique is it came out every year. It's new developers. So maybe we don't need to make like one cohesive like BR and try to add everything into it. Maybe COD 2026 they have their own thing too.
Right.
And hopefully they execute as well as Treyarch. Maybe not, but who knows?
And it's all about keeping the game fresh and feeling new every year, right?
Mhm.
Like, that's the problem that Call of Duty, I think, faces right now, is because if you're going to be charging $70 for these games, you want to feel like you're paying for that. And again, like I said earlier, when you see those screenshots of all the games, even for myself, it's like I mean, I could tell,
Mhm.
but they make a really good point that most of the time it doesn't feel like a new game. I mean, can you imagine for the Warzone people?
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, bro, that game really hasn't changed at all, like, or for a lot of people, I'm sure feel that way. It just hasn't really changed and evolved as much as it should have. So they need to make those changes big time. And I'm hoping, like you said, that this game does deliver with it. And if they do end up sunsetting with Warzone and call it a day and evolve into something else, yeah, that might be the right move. But it's all
Mhm.
going to depend on the numbers for them, of course.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
they see
exactly.
people still, a ton of people still playing Warzone and they're not seeing as much of a shift, I think they're going to try to ride it out as much as they can. But the question is, do they take that risk and be like, you know what? Let's try to put everything towards this blackout mode.
Mhm.
Let's try to make a casual like BR for that. And see if people switch over or not. I really have no idea what the plan will be.
Yeah, I think Call of Duty is going through this weird phase now where they want to make everything be like cohesive. So, like you said, every game for the past couple of years, you look at them, they all look pretty similar and feel somewhat similar. Whereas back in the day, you know, you had a really, really good game in MW2 and everyone loved it, but then it ended there. Like, going into the next year, it is a new game, it has to be different. And that's a risk you take, right? You got to believe in your product and that you built a really good game. And we always say it would be awesome to go back to like replay those memories and all those games back in the day, but it ended. Like, we're not going to get those memories back and feel the same way. So take the risk of, making a brand new game and hopefully locking in whatever that other game mode is, right? I mean, they did try doing that. I think it was it Advanced Warfare or IW where they had the like alien game mode, like Extinct.
Uh, that was IW.
IW, yeah,
Yeah.
like they've tried it.
Actually, no.
Was it
No, I think
AW?
no, it was no, it was AW.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was AW. Cuz I
was
remember IW
Extinction.
had yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Um, but like they tried it. They're trying to make something else that's unique to their game, and
Bro, we're
they
wrong.
well,
Ghosts.
oh, it's Ghost. Wow. All right, neither.
It didn't feel that long ago.
Yeah. Uh, but that's a risk you take, right? Like
Right.
you just gotta believe in your product and what you're building. And since COD 2019, it just seems like, all right, we have a really good base now. Let's just combine everything and make it all one. Which I see that approach too, because that's what Fortnite did. They just built off of the game that they had. Um, but the difference is Fortnite started off like that. COD did not start like that. It's hard to just change the complete like picture of what Call of Duty is. Like everyone that has played COD back in the day knows every year you get something unique and new. And now you're trying to shift, the picture of it's not going to be unique and new, but it's going to be like, the past couple CODs.
Right. Well, the backlash too that they receive now, I think because of social media and just like overall more people are playing the game than ever. The amount of risks that they take in these games now is just it's so minuscule. And to your point, man, every year back when we were playing from I don't know, was it Black Ops 2? Well, yeah, Black Ops, then MW and MW3, and like that whole just switching from year to year. Um, Kind of part of the fun was you didn't really know what you were going to get for the next COD.
Mhm.
And, I always liked that because it was a total shift from what you were playing before. So, yeah, you're still going to be playing, Call of Duty, but what version of it? Who really knows what you're going to get? The problem is that certain things like Extinction happened and some certain games like, World War II happened.
Mhm.
And there was, some things that were redeeming about those games, but there was a lot of people who disliked those games. Um, and then they like again, that's just the risk that you take. If you believe in it and like you said, you're putting all your effort into it, then that's really all that matters. But I think now that doesn't matter. It's way more about the bottom line and figuring out, okay, what do people really like and what has been like talked about as a success from year to year? How can we maintain that and keep it going,
Mhm.
all throughout? Which in Call of Duty right now, I don't know what it is that they're keeping from year to year that's been their success. Again, the
Mhm.
main thing that COD needs every year, it does not matter, is maps. That is what makes COD like a good COD from a terrible COD, in my opinion. You
Mhm.
need to have that. And that's where all the focus needs to go, from every year to every year. And I think they've lost that because now with even with Black Ops 7, like it sounds like I'm shitting on it, but they're gonna go and bring in the remastered maps,
Mhm.
because that's a safe thing. They know people love those maps. There's pretty much nobody that talks trash about them. Um, which again, I'm excited for it. Like don't get me wrong, but and I'm sure they're gonna add new maps like as they develop them.
They
Um,
already confirmed that there will be new maps.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And for me, that's where like most of my excitement is because that's where this game's going to feel different.
Mhm.
I'm going to be playing on new maps that I've never played before and hopefully they're good maps that make sense, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where I'll leave it with that.
the fact that they're going back to Black Ops 2 again, they're on their last, ditch. Well, what is it? Last ditch effort.
Right.
They can't go back to another COD after this. Like
No.
what other great Call of Duty is there that like people like you and I, the old heads, still talk about? if they mess up this one, they can't go back. There are no other ones to grab, you know. And um, again, I trust Treyarch, but like I think it's good that they're taking the risk of possibly getting rid of Warzone, and they need to listen to their gut, like a little bit more on things, because that's what they did back in the day. Like World War II, I hated that game, but they went back to boots on the ground because everybody was complaining about it, and uh, they went back to boots on the ground and did a little too much, like
Right.
um, and even then, like at least they tried to do something. Feel like since 2019, they realized, oh, 2019 worked really, really well. Like everyone loved that Call of Duty
Mhm.
for whatever reason. And also the time that we were in too. Like we're all locked inside, playing video games, and people loved MW 2019. We went back and played Black Ops 4 because that game was just so different. And the casuals love 2019, and ever since then, they're like, this worked. Let's just keep this model and try to tack onto it. But also, you got to realize like the time period that we were in. Like
Yeah,
that
that's
all
very
plays a
true.
factor too.
Yeah, I think the pandemic had a huge impact on the trajectory of Call of Duty. Probably too because you'd think during that time, like how were they developing this game?
Hmm.
Like they weren't all in the office like doing what I would imagine they've done for the past couple of years post pandemic.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Um but I think because again of all the circumstances, because people were locked in playing, and that's why it looked good and maybe like gave them some inflated numbers and they stuck with what they had. Now you're getting to this point where there's a real divide. Like, yeah, people are playing Warzone, but a lot of people aren't happy with it, you know?
Hmm.
And yeah, same thing with Black Ops 6. I don't know what the numbers are right now on the, concurrent players. But I'm sure it's taken a heavy dive, especially too with the lack of updates towards, the hackers and cheating situations and across the board.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I hope that there are risks that are taken with this game and they do succeed because I see like with I'm sure you saw right with that guy who's like I don't know how he's actually related to Splitgate if he's like one of the main devs or like one of
Hmm.
the spokespeople for the game, but you see him he's wearing like a was it make FPS games great again,
Yeah.
and he's talking all his shit about Call of Duty, which I think is warranted.
Yeah. I mean,
For
yeah.
sure, is totally warranted. Um, but I hope that guy eats his words.
Well,
Respectfully. Like, I hope
well,
COD comes around and absolutely stomps their foot, and it's like, "God damn right, this is what we were hoping for." Not like,
yeah, yeah.
"Yep, proved them right."
X Defiant.
I know, I
Try.
know.
Call of Duty's like test us.
Right.
Even on a game that people don't really like all that much, they still got tested.
But you gotta think too, at least Splitgate here, like, when that game came out,
Hmm.
they did it right
Yeah.
because they came out right when COD is on the complete
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
decline.
Well, that's the thing. You can do that. You got to capitalize on it. But I'm all for like any FPS trying to challenge COD. But at the end of the day, if you can't keep up with uh what Call of Duty does, even if Call of Duty at its worst, you're gonna crash and burn. You know,
Yeah.
competition's good. It's good to have other FPSs, but if you're going up against a Titan like Call of Duty, in their worst form, I would say arguably like right now, they're taking down like a bunch of other FPSs.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree. But I think and I hope with this, with the looming competition, like again, with them doing well, like Splitgate, I've
mhm,
heard. I've never played the game, but I've heard that people are liking it. Um, I think a lot of it too is again just a lot of salty
timing.
COD fans
I think
right
it's
now.
timing. A lot of it's timing too. Like,
Yeah,
oh, you and I went and played the original Splitgate like twice. We're like, oh
yeah,
yeah, this is really fun. Back to
yeah,
COD.
yeah, exactly.
You know.
I totally agree. I think there's people who like it right now, and yeah, there'll be people who switch over. Um, but yeah, is it going to be a COD killer? Of course not. Um, but I do like that that game is out, and I
Mhm.
like that that guy is talking shit.
Yeah.
And same thing with Battlefield looming around the corner. Um, it just I'm hoping that it kicks these developers into high gear and start thinking like, hey, now we've got some other rival company here that it's not like
Mhm.
they're just making another FPS, but they're also like throwing shade on us,
Mhm.
you know. And I hope there's some of those developers that are like, this is bullshit. I ain't taking
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah.
But it all's going to come down to how the game is. When Black Ops 7 comes out, it's going to be great. Like people are going to love it, but um it's like, are we just loving it because it's a new COD,
Mhm.
or are we loving it because they actually delivered this time?
Yeah. I mean, they gotta give it a few months, right? They gotta get through just, like, the end of the year, see
Yeah.
what everyone thinks, and, the other thing too is I didn't see anything about ranked. Maybe they'll talk about it more when the multiplayer trailer comes out, but that's, like, a whole whole 'nother topic. Hopefully, they don't honestly, don't release it too soon
I was just saying, I'm like,
because
please delay it,
just
delay
yeah,
it.
just get rid of the hackers, done. And 2, like, right now, it's like everybody's off season right now with Call of Duty. COD's on the decline for so many people. Like, we see all these pros and just everyone going and playing Splitgate 2, right? Like, yeah, they're having a bunch of fun, but Champs is in, like, what, 2 weeks when you guys listen to this.
Yeah.
And they're gonna go block back in, play Black Ops 6, chill out, wait till EWC, and then they'll go and chill out in the game, right? Um, Splitgate 2 right now for a lot of these COD pros is just another, breath of fresh air, just something else to do.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. It's filling the place of people going back to MW3, you know?
Yeah.
Because this is kind of the point in the year where people start going back, and I see those people, I see them tweeting, Justin, and
Yeah.
I get disgusted by them. There are people who are like, "Yo, Vanguard wasn't actually that bad, not
Yeah.
gonna lie." Like, "Yo, is anyone missing MW3? You are fucking crazy."
Yeah. Just
Dude, I cannot understand that. This
mhm.
game, Black Ops 6, even all its problems, brother, it is 1,000 times better
Yeah.
than those games. Like,
Yeah.
let's not get it twisted here. This game
Yeah.
is not that bad, okay?
Yeah.
Like, comparatively to those games are like all the way down on the list, particularly Vanguard,
Yeah.
you know?
Just wait
Yeah, I
until after EWC. Like when there's the competitive scene is just dead until the new COD comes out and
right.
people are going back and playing MW3 again. And I mean, again, MW3 was a fine game. The maps were just not good. They're the same maps. You didn't
Yeah.
like they didn't give us anything, you know, good and
It
like
was such a
new.
boring game. It was just so
Yeah.
boring,
Yeah.
you know?
And that game should have been MW2.
Yeah.
Like if they
And like
just oh man, yeah, if they released that game with the MW2 maps and the red dots again, like so much potential is all there, but they just didn't put it all together.
yeah. And it's like, bro, we're talking about risks, dude. They those aren't even risks. It's like,
I
what are
know.
you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like, those are the real standby things. Like, yeah, from year to year, I said, I don't know what they add from COD. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, you keep red dots in the mini map. Like,
Yeah.
there's some real basic shit like that. You have UAVs in the game.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that game we talked about, I mean, just wasted potential, right? I mean, and it feels like that honestly has been the case with the past few years. It's just
Mhm.
always like they were so close getting over the finish line. They could have made a game that would have really banged,
Mhm.
but then there was something that held them back. Um, so I'm hoping that there's no question marks left with Black Ops 7. As we get more news, we'll talk about it, but I'm hoping that that game just stays good. And it's like from the get go, people are like, yeah, the maps are great. The gunplay is great. Like
Mhm.
there's some little small things, but like the big picture of the game, it's solid.
Yeah, and I hope that Black Ops 7 is like Cold War for us where we just kept playing that game on like even after like champs and everything was like done. Like we just actually enjoyed playing that game. We just
Yeah.
didn't get bored of it. Whereas, all these other games, like we're just trying to grind to the end and then the new COD's out.
Right.
Like we're just going through the motion, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Black
I wanna feel excited about the game. I hear you.
yeah, and I hope Black Ops 7, does that. And I know we've said it before and other people have said it too. This COD is really important. But I like again, I don't know what you do after this one. Like there is no fallback. Like you just went through all the good CODs already. Like you're not gonna go and remaster World at War and bring those old maps into modern day now. Like that's not feasible.
Yeah, so I say my last thing on this because that's honestly like that's what I fear their standby is
Yeah.
that they want to go back and tap into the nostalgia. And I again, it works a little bit but after a while I think it grows stale pretty quickly and it's just not something that you can do time and time again cuz you think about all again the CODs that we played when we grew up and they weren't remastering,
Yeah.
COD 2 maps.
Hmm.
Like, they weren't doing that. They were just making new maps all the time. I think, like, the only maps that maybe got remastered back in the day was, like, Nuketown.
Hmm.
They'd bring like, for some of those, like, Black Ops well, I mean, Black Ops would do it because it was their freaking maps. They would
Yeah.
go and bring a couple of them back. But they would only do, like, Nuketown and I think, like, maybe Firing Range.
Hmm.
That's about it. But then we get to like MW3
Hmm.
and they're like, "Oh yeah, you like those
Yeah.
MW2 maps? You got every single one.
Hmm.
Like it's going to be exactly how it was." And then it's not and you're bummed about it. And now here we are again with this one
Hmm.
where I'm hoping that this does turn out well, and this is one of the success stories of a fully remastered set of maps. Because Black Ops 6, you got to give them the credit. They tried with
Hmm.
all new maps, and some of them are, okay. But that's one of the worst parts of the game, in my opinion, is the
Hmm.
maps in Black Ops 6. There's a lot more misses than there are hits.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, this is the last game I can think of, honestly, that they can go back and remaster and like the maps are good.
Yeah, yeah,
That I like you're touching Black Ops 2, one of the golden games from back in the day.
right.
I really don't think they have like other options after this. It's,
No, they don't.
you know, this has to be a success, or you go and, like you said, create new maps. Like just create a ton of new maps.
Mhm.
Um, Funny enough, I think Black Ops 6 would be better if they took like MW3 maps and put them in this. Like
Yeah.
the flow of the game, like Mercado or like any of the new map, like Hotel or something. Like that would be so interesting to have like maps that size and with this like play style of COD.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I agree with that. I think it would definitely help. There's a lot of those maps that are trash in this game
Hmm.
that you could for sure upgrade the game
Yeah,
by replacing it with like Greenberg Hotel or any of those. Yeah. Um it would be interesting to see how it flows, but that's again where I wish that they could have just developed maps like that. I'm like, bro, if
exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, if you really put in a lot of time and effort and really thought about these maps and how they play, it would probably come out. I'm like, look at all the other CODs prior. Like most of those CODs had really good maps.
Hmm.
Um, for whatever reason. Like I'm sure they just again really thought about it, didn't overcomplicate it though.
Hmm.
And just think about okay, how's this game play? How big should this map be? How many lanes should we have? Should it be, cluttered with 1,000 things? Like what's that map? I always forget the name of it. The one that's in this game. And it's got the river like all the way running through it. Like you can
Oh,
go in the water. Yeah, you know that map I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, the broken down
Right,
building in
right.
the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just way too much stuff going on,
Yeah.
you know? It's like one of those cases, like, bro, you overthought. You made it way too complicated. Get
Hmm.
it out of here.
Yeah. They got to make at least like 50 maps. And then, dude, at
Yeah,
least like half of them are going to be like, all right. You
right.
know, they just got to churn them out. Like, whatever.
What they need to do is they need to make like they need to have a committee of people making these maps so they have like 70 maps and
Ooh,
then they
for real.
just whittle them down. They look at the mini map, they're like, "That dog shit. Nope, that's not gonna be
Yeah.
good. That one's
Well,
got potential,
they,
and then they're like, okay, let's get to the final,
yeah.
like final 15.
I mean, they already do that now, but they like with the player base, like where you could vote on maps or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
okay, people don't like this map, but the problem is they'll create like 10 maps and then everyone skips 8 of them and we only like 2 of them. And the
Yeah.
2 are
Yeah.
are right. And then we have those 2 for the rest of the year.
Right.
Like,
No, they gotta go and pump out way more It's like, bro, we don't care so much about like, can I read the piece of paper on this like
Yeah, yeah,
burning scrap that's flying away, bro? I don't care.
yeah.
Like, put your energy into the macro, not the
Y-
micro.
yeah, just make, decent maps. 3-lane
Yeah,
maps, not too much detail, just
yeah.
just decent maps.
Yeah, so, I mean, I hope that's what we're gonna get. I mean, again, we'll be talking about it more as as the months go on here, as we get other trailers. But dude, I hope that I hope our wishes come true. I hope that
Mhm,
we see some of this stuff. We start seeing maps, some guns, and people are like, okay, things are looking all right in the world.
mhm. Yeah, please
No
Treyarch.
red flags. I know.
Please Treyarch.
We have the faith of them, bro.
I'm gonna believe in them. The product that they put out, even for this game, if it is true that they half-assed this one because they had to out of just
Mhm.
like urgency. All right, they've done it before. I
Yeah,
just hope this one Black Ops 7 just bangs, and then we go into COD 2026, and we're like, wow, I really miss the last COD.
right.
Not that I want that, like, because then that would mean 2026 sucks. But you know, it's been a while since we've had that feeling. Since like,
Yeah,
like we want to go back to the last one.
absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I hope to get that feeling back, bro.
Yeah.
We
So
got to get it before our 20s are over, dude.
I know.
I'm like, give me that one last time before I leave this world.
I know. Yeah. It, we're vets at this point.
Yeah, because then I'm speaking as an unk. Once I hit 30, then I'm at that level and I'm like, dude, my opinion's invalidated by
Just
most people's standards. You know?
we've gone through every era of COD.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
we
And
are
we
the
ain't
vets.
retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't
uh,
retiring.
but yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I mean, big news,
I
Black
think
Ops
that's it,
7,
man. Yeah.
like multiplayer trailer, hopefully coming out, within the next month or so. Um, and then we'll probably talk more about the CDL in a couple weeks because Champs is around the corner.
Yeah.
And it does kind of stink though that like we're just not watching anything for 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
there's quite a lull right now, which yeah, it does suck.
yeah.
But
I'm seeing all these guys play another game. They ain't
yeah,
even
I know.
practicing.
Yeah, I know. But I'm
No.
hoping when it comes back, like once we see champs, and I'm gonna get excited for it again.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it is this period of nothing that does blow for sure.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you guys are on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know too what you think of Black Ops 7 because
Hmm.
if you guys think this is gonna be, the best COD of all time, is this gonna save Call of Duty like everyone thinks?
Right.
Or is it gonna be, another one of those things, same thing every year, but slightly different?
I don't want to hear those people though.
I,
That's the
I
same
don't want to hear
shit.
that. No, yeah,
Shut up, man.
I need to hear that this is the best Call of Duty of all time.
Yeah,
Every
I
year.
need that attach energy,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. We're gonna
That's what I
get
need.
one eventually.
Well, one of them will be right.
Yeah, and Treyarch's the developer that's gonna do it. So
Hmm.
let us know down in the comments. But yeah, we're also on anchor.fm/the COD Casuals. We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. And we put everything on TikTok and Instagram Reels. So if you don't want to listen to the whole thing, we chop it up and put it over there. And make sure to leave a 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple Podcast because it helps us out a ton. And also answer the poll. Let us know what you
Yes.
think about Black Ops 7 and your thoughts. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, so thank you everyone. This has been episode 226 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.